All right, welcome back to No Filter MMA, guys. I am here with the Ultimate Fighter, Tough 31. There he is. Tough 31 finalist, former UFC lightweight, future UFC lightweight, Austin Thud Hubbard. What's up, man? We are at the finale, man.
Yes, sir. How's it going?
It's going great, man. It's going great. How you feeling, man?
I feel good. I'm out in Colorado doing my training camp, getting ready for finals. I'm very excited.
Yes, man. I'm super excited for you, man. So it's been a couple weeks since we talked. Team Chandler continued on their roll. You know what I'm saying, up until the last of the quarterfinals there,
Yep.
or the semifinals, whatever. But it changed to, with it being like that, with the season playing out like that, you guys have to now turn and face each other. You know what I'm saying, which is crazy. So tell me about that, because that episode really focused on trying to catch you guys' vibe. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
when that played out like that. So tell me how that was being, actually in there.
Yeah, it was crazy. Honestly, Ro and I felt that they would have made us, put us on opposite sides, and with the possibility, of win our fights, we meet in the finals. Everyone obviously is very tough in that house in the veteran lightweight division. But we felt like that made the most sense. Um, and then it didn't play out that way, and we had to fight in the semifinals. And I don't know, it didn't make sense to me, but that's not my job. I don't make that call. Um, and it came out the way it did. You know what I mean?
During the episode, when Dana pulled the coaches into the office, you know what I'm saying, and he asked them, he said, who do you have, who's the toughest guys you have? And they were like, it's a split between, I forgot who the other person was, but they said Austin. They touched on that, man. Like, seeing that back, how did you feel seeing them talk about you like that?
Yeah, I mean, I felt we both felt that him and I were, training wise, just what we felt in training and everything else with amongst the lightweight veterans. We did feel like we were kind of the top dogs. Um, and again, that's kind of why we thought that we would meet, opposite sides meet in the finals. And yeah, clearly the coaches felt that as well. They said it themselves. So, um, that's the way we thought it was going to play out, and it just didn't.
So when you found out you're fighting Roosevelt, you know what I'm saying? You guys have been training it, and some people just look at the fight as the fight, you know what I'm saying, instead of,
Yeah.
what led to the fight, you know what I'm saying? I've seen some comments that were made on your social media, you know what I'm saying, and what people were saying, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, listen, guys, you got to understand, Roosevelt Roberts and Austin Hubbard trained together for the majority of the time that they were there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
We
also,
were literally
go
made
ahead,
training partners through this whole process. So,
they
and
have.
not only that, like we lived together. We were roommates. Like we literally were bunk mates. Like, and I get it. Like we knew what we were coming into, but when you're like away from your family for weeks on end, and you're things, it's just not as easy as like people are making it sound. And that isn't like to say we didn't go out there and try winning and fighting the best that we could. We did. Um, he's very talented. I feel like I'm very talented. Sometimes that plays out as a very technical and tactical fight, which I feel like that fight was. I see, Dana obviously wasn't happy, saying we weren't going for it, no urgency. Dude, you seen him fight in the first fight? He knocked out the dude in 7 seconds. Like, you can't just go out there and just recklessly brawl. Like, he's gonna knock you out. He's very good. And at the same token, you deal with that on top of everything in your future is riding on winning this fight. So it's not like, oh, you get knocked out, it's fine. You come back, the next fight. No, that's not the case. Winning this fight is more important than not winning this fight. And sometimes that means you need to fight technical, tactical, and smart. Um, you know, it, it's a little frustrating, but it's also motivating at the same time, hearing all the criticism and things like that. But that's just the sport. Everyone has their opinion, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. So you just gotta take the good with the bad.
It's crazy, man. Like it's so crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like how they responded to it, because when I watched it, I'm like, okay, Roosevelt Roberts is a fucking sniper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, did we? So, I always say that the MMA community has amnesia, and they do, Austin. Like,
yeah,
they have
yeah,
amnesia, and I'm like, do you guys not remember Roosevelt Roberts starching this dude? You know what I'm saying? In his first fight, what I'm
yeah,
saying? And it's not like Austin Hubbard to go in there and try to brawl. You know what I'm saying? That's not Austin
yeah,
Hubbard. What I saw from Roosevelt Roberts was him really trying to establish that range and that height. You know what I'm saying? But then I had so much faith in the fact, seeing you fight, I said, well, Austin fights very long, anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, Roosevelt is tall. Yes, he's got the reach advantage over Austin, but Austin fights very tall. You know what I'm saying? And very long. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
and also what I saw you doing is using a lot of movement. Like, you were never a
yeah,
stationary target. You can't be a stationary target against Roosevelt Roberts. And you were
yeah,
moving, you were
absolutely.
weaving, you were taking your head off the center line, you were trying to come at angles with a lot of those strikes and the kicks, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were finding
Yeah,
ways to touch him. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
in the mix of all of that, you know what I'm saying? What were you focusing on to make sure you got the dub?
Going into that fight, I knew important things that I had to do was be on point with my footwork, my head movement, my angle changes, my stance changes. I had to really make him think and slow him down, and that's the footwork and movement. I don't know anyone who can watch that and say that wasn't good movement, good footwork, good flowing between stances, good attacking between stances. Um, that's what I had to do to win that fight.
That's how you did.
You
That's
can't,
what the other
you
guy
can't.
didn't do. That's why the other guy
Yeah,
sniped like that.
yeah. um, you have to slow him down with your movement because he's so damn good. He is gonna pick you apart if you're just staying there trying to brawl with him. Um, and another thing, one too, is like I had to work the body. I was doing a lot of body work, a lot of leg kicks, a lot of feints and movement, a lot of body work because that's what's gonna slow him down. Um, you know, Tactical. That's a tactical fight. That's what I had to do to win that fight. If I went, neck and neck with him brawling and just stand there trying to trade, he's gonna probably win that fight. That's he. I give him 100% credit. He has cleaner, like straight boxing. His shots come out so fast and clean. He's gonna win that fight if I just stand there and give the fans what they want. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to feed my family, dude. I have bills. I have a lot of debt. Like I got to get my position to where I can take care of my family, and that doesn't always mean just standing there and banging, especially in a fight. I don't even know if I'm getting paid for it. You know what I mean? Like I have to get to the finals. I have to win the finals for this whole opportunity to be worth it. Um, and some people just don't understand that, or they just want to be casuals. I guess I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know.
yeah, man.
It is frustrating, but at the same time, I get it. Like, but they don't understand the situation. Not only that, we fought less than 2 weeks before that fight. I've had some people say, "Oh, you're ground and pound. You didn't even try doing." Well, for one, he had a really good guard. He's a black belt for one. He's a lengthy. He's explosive. He had good. He kept me a good range to where I couldn't really get off my damage. But even at that point, my elbows were so sore and bruised and shit from the fight just 2 weeks or less before that. I couldn't really use those if I wanted to. On top of that, like, dude, my hand was so like swollen and bruised. I couldn't even. It hurt to clench my fist in the glove. Like, dude, there's so many factors that people don't even understand, and Dana should understand. So that's why I was like a little butthurt. I ain't gonna lie on the criticism. Because I leaving the show and filming, I was like, that was a good high level fight.
It
I
was.
I I thought it was a fight that would make people entertained and happy. You know, it was a lot on their feet, on the feet. Granted, we weren't trading, you know, crazy 10 punch combos, making each other bloody and wobble and stuff like that. But there's a lot of technique in the footwork and movement, the head feints, the hip feints, like slipping and stance change and all those sorts of things. Like, and on both ends, like he did a good job too. You know, it's just sometimes it plays out that way.
And that was a UFC level fight.
Yeah,
That was a UFC level fight. Like that fight could have been in the UFC, and I feel like if it were in the UFC, you know what I'm saying? Like if that fight took place on a fight night, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you guys would have gotten a lot of praise from like the commentators and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you know,
yeah,
playing devil's advocate, given the situation in tough, they're expecting everybody in tough to be, wild and reckless in there. Just, the win is the most important thing. I don't care how I get it. Well, that doesn't always play out the best for
yeah,
some people. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It doesn't play out the best. One thing I want to ask you, Austin, the guy, there seems to be a couple of those bantamweights that at least this is how the show portrays them. Like there's a little like nippiness between those, like the guys, like the new guys that have lost. You know what I'm saying? Was it ever like that in the house? Like, were there ever like people who were salty because they lost and stuff like that?
No, for the most part, everyone was pretty cool. You know, there was some snippiness, especially near the end of the filming between like Cody and Brad. They kind of developed a beef and being snippy and talkative to one another. Um, but for the most part, all the other guys, you know, that lost and whatnot, they're all pretty cool. You know, they weren't really causing any drama or trouble. You know, there's going on with their days and whatnot. And overall, the whole everyone involved in the house, dude, they were good people. You know, there wasn't any one guy where like, God, I hate this motherfucker. Like I can't stand him or anything like that. Everyone was pretty down to earth, pretty cool. We all got along pretty well. Um, so yeah,
You got this episode, you got to have a video chat with your wife and your daughter, before the fight. At least that's how the edit shows it was before the fight.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? How was that? Was that like a breath of like, because this fight was pretty important. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like this fight coming up, was pretty important. So was that like a recharge, like a slight recharge of your batteries?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, at that point I haven't seen her or even talked to her in weeks. You know, before even going on filming, I was out in Colorado getting some training in before I
Right.
left. So, you know, I was away from home even outside of, you know, before the filming. And that I was gone for 6 weeks for that. So, yeah, it was absolutely a shot of motivation, you know, seeing them and being able to talk to them, especially at that point in filming in the show.
Yeah. Yeah. So there was a situation that happened after Connor's dude won, where I think it Roosevelt Roberts that was and Connor that had some words there.
Yeah, yeah,
What
they
was that
got.
about? And what's before you tell us, what was funny is like the camera panned past you and you was just like
Well, you know, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I'm allowed to
Okay.
speak about it.
Okay.
Um, but they didn't show what led to that. Obviously, they showed Rose's reaction, and what led to that. You know, you know how Connor ran around the cage and was tiptoeing. Well, I mean, he bitch slapped one of our teammates, and that's kind of where that came from. So, you know, they left that out, but then showed the reaction and the blow up, and it was just kind of a big thing that day.
Whoa.
And yeah,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a nugget. Wow. Wow. I mean,
yeah,
the episode is past, you know what I'm saying? So I mean it is what it is, but wow, dude, that's crazy, man. Like so they of course reality TV is gonna edit and show whatever it is they really want to show.
yeah,
But Wow, man, that's crazy. So that makes a little bit more sense because it seemed the way they put it on the show, it was like I went back and rewinded. I was like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah,
don't even get what happened, you know? So it's interesting.
they left a lot out that day.
Say it again.
They left a lot out that day. There's a few blowups that day.
Okay. Nice, nice. Um, so Roosevelt had to cut his hair to make weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you guys are friends. I know you guys are cool, but it's a competition at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Did that kind of give you a little bit of boost, knowing that maybe his weight cut was a little tough, and maybe yours was
Um,
too, but you have the cardio, you have that going for you. You know what I'm saying? So, how'd you
yeah.
feel about that?
It's funny. We woke up having to lose the exact same amount of weight that day, and for whatever reason, dude, his just was not coming off. Like mine did. Um, and yeah, I knew his hair was kind of important. It was more of a spiritual thing for him than just a simple hairstyle. I told him, I was like, dude, it's fine. I'll still fight you. Like, to me, I was like, it's cool. I don't want to make you cut your hair. Like, I know what it means to you. Um, it's that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
He did the professional thing. He did what he needed to make weight. But at the end of the day, I don't really care. Like, what's a half a pound? What's a few tenths gonna really matter? I'd rather get the extra money. Well, in this case, I don't even know if any money's coming, but
Yeah.
if it was like a UFC fight, I'd rather take the 10-20% than have them make weight.
Yeah.
Who cares? You miss weight by half a pound, cool. Give me the extra money.
Yeah.
Is
Thanks.
always like my hope, honestly. But he made weight, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, it didn't really matter. You're right about that. Um, Potential tough fight ahead of you, depending on how these. I mean, any of these guys, any of these guys that whoever wins, So let me ask you this. So you go on to the finale. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep.
So okay. So however this plays out, you know what I'm saying. No matter which one of the guys win, it's a tough fight.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
tough fight ahead of you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, all the veteran lightweights, they're all veterans. They've been there. They know what it takes. They've all tasted the success and know what it takes to
Mhm.
get to that level. They're
Mhm.
tough dudes. That's
Yeah.
why they're in that position.
Yeah.
There's definitely not an easy fight, so to speak. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I hope all of you guys actually get an opportunity to go at it again. I understand, the end goal is the UFC contract, but honestly, the way you guys have come out here and performed this season, and the way all the light, it was a clean sweep for the lightweights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And the way you guys swept those guys up and got them out of there. You know what I'm saying? I think it warrants, everybody to get a second shot,
yeah,
or at least like a
I
short
agree.
notice call or something.
Yeah, definitely should be on the radar. No doubt. I agree 100%.
Yeah, yeah. So you're getting ready, you know what I'm saying? I know that all of this stuff is coming up for you, you know what I'm saying? But now that the episodes have aired, you can everybody kind of knows now that Austin Hubbard,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, is
Yeah,
there.
that's
Like,
the
how
worst
does it?
part is like not being able to answer anyone's questions. You just
Yes.
got to tune in. You just got to tune in. Now at least everyone knows, I made it to the finals, so that's out. And that is a little bit of a relief,
I was
I mean,
about
it's
to
a
ask
big
you that. Is it kind of
big
a relief? Like, okay, guys, y'all can stop with the
yeah.
pressure now. I made it. Like, I'm gonna make it
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, 100%. And they take leaks very serious, and so like now that it's finally out, everyone knows I'm in the finals. I feel like, yes, okay, I made it. I didn't tell no one. Like, I'm free, home free now. You know what I mean?
So, going from being on the show and being coached by people, I know last episode we did, you gave a lot of props to Chandler's team, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a good team. But being back
Yeah.
where it's more familiar now, did you take anything away from what you were taught there? Like when you went back to, where you're familiar to get ready for the finale, did you take anything back? And how did it feel to be back with those people?
Um, yeah, it feels great to be back, with my home team. Um, Overall, the it was such a short, compact experience, and they did teach a lot of great stuff. A lot of it, I felt like I was already on par with a lot of the things. I did take away a few, good minor details, that will very so help me. But nothing like super major that stands out. You know what I mean? Um, they were all great coaches, and like I said, it's hard to change a lot of things in a short amount of time. You know what I mean? Especially when they had to cater to so many different people through the experience.
Yeah, that's what that same response seems to be like an across the board thing. From I've interviewed a few fighters that were on the Ultimate Fighter. Eric Showtime Shelton. I interviewed Jillian
Yeah,
Robertson a lot. So you know what I'm saying. I've interviewed a few people from Tough, and what they all say the same thing. Like you have to be ready going in. You know what I'm saying, and then
yeah,
really what they do is just get you ready for that whatever opponent it is that you're fighting.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's
yeah,
that's good. So obviously you guys came in ready. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? You guys came. You told me you went out and got some training in before you went. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
It's kind of funny because before going into the Ultimate Fighter, I actually only trained probably 2.5 weeks. I didn't do a single training related thing for months on end, and honestly didn't even know if I was gonna fight again up until I got that Ultimate Fighter call. So, uh, yeah, it was cool to you know get that opportunity, then get prepared enough to do well with the opportunity, and it's kind of like a good mental note. Okay, I can take a short fight, notice fight, which I'm always confident in what I can do. So it was just kind of a cool like proving to yourself test type of thing. You know what I mean?
yes, because dude, you've been through like previous to the Ultimate Fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like you went through some shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, yeah,
and I can tell you, man, as a fan of Austin Hubbard, it's really good to see that spark, to see that fire back in you, bro. Because
yeah,
what I'm saying, it's good to see that back. You know what I'm saying, and to see
yeah,
a motivated Austin Hubbard. You know what I'm saying, Austin Hubbard with a goal, and not the
yeah,
young kid who got the LFA belt.
yeah, yeah,
Not that guy. This new and improved Austin Hubbard. You know what I'm saying, this matured Austin Hubbard. It's really good to see
yeah.
that, man. And I'm excited, man. And I'm sure
I
everybody else
appreciate
is
it.
excited too, man. But
I
like,
appreciate it.
we kind of like people kind of knew, like like we knew, Austin Hubbard probably is gonna make it to the finale. You know what I'm saying? It's just a question of who else was gonna make it to the finale.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited, man, and just let us know, man. This is. I'm definitely gonna have to get you back after the finale.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Lose, or draw. You know what I'm saying? That's also part of this journey. So it is what it is. But you know, give us your final words, man, and tell us what we can actually look forward to in this finale, man. Because you're as I'm speaking for all Austin Hubbard fans, we are fucking excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Like you said, you can see a new flair in my excitement. I'm very excited for this opportunity. I went through hell to get to this opportunity, get
Yes,
through this opportunity, and kind of really turned me around in a lot of ways. And like you said, I've really matured, since my debut. And I'm excited to make the best of this second round. And I think it's gonna be quite different than the first time.
let's fucking go. One last question for you, go, man. Gaethje or Poirier, and why?
I'm going Gaethje, obviously.
Woo!
He's my dude. He's my dude. I train with him. We're friends. But on a real note, I was actually watching Chandler and Gaethje's, or not Chandler and Gaethje, Chandler and Poirier's fight. Um, you know, he Poirier gets taken down, and he kind of can get controlled out a little bit. He's a dog on if he gets your back or on top, and obviously he has the power in his hands, as we even seen in the first fight. But Justin's not the same fighter we've seen in from that first fight. He's learned, he's become more patient, I should say. He's
Yes.
known it. He just chose not to be, you
Yes.
know, that methodical. He's a wild man, you know. That's why he's the most violent man in the sport, and really the highlight in the lightweight and almost the entire UFC. He's super entertaining. But you know, he's fighting smarter. He's fighting more methodical. He's not just. I mean, he had the technique. I'm not calling him a brawler, but he always turned these fights into wild exchanges. And you know, especially with the physique fight, you can see
But
he's
he
really
baited him in,
evolving.
dude. Like he baited him in and played this cautious game with Fiziev, and then Fiziev started trying to take his head off, and then Justin Gaethje just beat the shit out of him, dude. Like
Yeah.
he
So
turned it on, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm going for him for sure.
okay,
But
okay.
it is a tough fight. It is definitely a tough fight. It'll be one hell of a fight, nonetheless. So I'm excited to watch that.
Yes, yes. All right, guys. Well, listen, there you have it. Tough 31 finalist, Austin Thud Hubbard. And we will see Austin back after the finale, guys. Like I said,
Yep.
win, lose, or draw, but there is no lose or draw. We're going to come back here after a win for sure. So, and
Yeah.
then, dude, we'll have a lot to talk about after that for sure. We'll have a whole bunch to talk about, man. But appreciate it, man. The floor is yours. Say what you guys say, and we out of here, bro.
Yeah, you guys can catch me on Instagram at AustinHub155. Follow the journey. Yeah, and thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. I'll catch you.